You're watching Jewel School, only on Jewelry Television.
Warren is coming back. He's got a bracelet called Streetscape, 31 cents an inch on these. 31 cents an inch. How fun is that? Oh my gosh. Oh, I know. It's been a fun day. Very, very fun day. But it always is when we have new artists and new friends out here. Oh, be careful, my friend. Warren is on the way back. Warren Feld, I'm so excited. Yeah, time is flying, Warren. Have you noticed that? Happy Halloween, my friend.
Thank you.
I know, I love Halloween. I don't know about you guys, I love Halloween. When I was a kid, and even as I think I've enjoyed it more, the older I've become, it's become kind of an adult holiday. Welcome our new special artist. I adore this man from Nashville, Tennessee, Warren Feld. He has multiple specialties, published in numerous beading and jewelry magazines and books. He's the lead instructor at Bedazzled Beads, the founder of the Center for Beadwork and Jewelry Arts. I found him, and you guys can't imagine when I found him. I was in Nashville, and I went by this beautiful beading store, and I said, I do this to my husband, stop, stop. He goes, shoes? And I was like, no, there's no beading store. I have to go in this store. It's Nashville. And it's Warren's store. So he is one of those artists who totally understands the business of earning a living with our art, right?
Right.
And what I love about people that have owned beading stores, you teach every single day of your life, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Every single day, this man teaches. So we're going to show you a kit that will make, may I borrow, here he is. This is the
Yes,
one,
yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That will make this design. I want you guys to look at this. So earlier, he was talking to us about Petersburg chain. This is a variation on Petersburg chain. Now, a lot of you guys were shopping ahead on this. My goodness gracious, Warren. There's already 30 of these that are gone. This is $59.99. We were going to do this at $72. It's $59.99. Everything to make the bracelet is included. I mean, the wire, all of the beads, the different shapes in the beads, the needles, the clasp, the toggle stock clasp, everything that you need. It's a fully complete kit. But here's what I want to focus on, okay? And these are 2-hole, are they not?
The bricks, yes.
Yes, the bricks are 2-hole. I'm going to take this down just for a second because here's what I want to focal on. This comes in the kit this way. Thank you. It's pretty on both sides, Warren.
Yes,
So this comes in the kit. This is a DVD.
CD.
Why do I do that? This is a CD that you put in your computer, and the instructions are there. You can read the instructions on your computer. Now, that is fabulous, but, and I'm gonna hold him right there for a second, Warren. You can also print the instructions out. This is why when we met Warren, we went crazy. It's the only time we've ever shown Petersburg chain on Jewel School. In 11 years of Jewel School, the only time we've ever shown it or put instructions on the air for it. And Warren has taken it to a different level. So you can print the CD out.
Right.
Oh, good grief, I got it right. And you've got a 36-page manual that is instructions on how to do this. By the way, everybody, we're down to 158 of these. We had about 200 of these. Early in the show, it hasn't been on the air for 2 minutes, and we're down to 158 of these. So the instructions are insanely good. What level do you think this is, Warren?
This is an intermediate level project.
Okay.
So you need to have some experience with some other stitches and bead weaving before you'd want to attempt this.
Okay, well said, well said. Now, here's the book. I'm going to hand the book over to Warren and let him tell you some of the intricacies in this, because I'm telling you guys, this is the best education we have found. It's this is a book. It's a 36-page book. So anyway, okay, I'm going to move this out of the way so we don't mess that up.
Call this a project guidebook. And all our projects are project guidebooks. Half of it has to do with artistry and design. I call it a think aloud. It's really important to us that our students learn how to be creative and pull creativity out of themselves. And it's really important to teach our students how to take an inspiration and come up with a design based on that inspiration. So the first half of the book is if you were with me while I was designing this piece, hearing me think aloud. All the questions I asked myself about materials and colors, directional issues, which technique to use when, all those kinds of things, you can read my thoughts.
And you've written entire books on things like that. I mean, the design side of it. How many times do we as artists say, I can make it? It's the designing part of it that challenges me. And by the way, guys, we're just watching these click down. So go through more of what's in there.
Okay, and then the second half is just a step-by-step. And wherever there are key design issues for any one step, they're listed at that point in the process, so that while you're doing it, you also pick up some of my thoughts, how I made choices, so that you can either mimic it or go your own direction.
Isn't that cool?
This bracelet is designed for, the instructions are for a 7-inch bracelet, but we have a table of measurements. So if you need something a little longer, a little shorter, we have the different pieces of information for you to do the math. If you want to alter some designs a little bit, we also have some of that information in here so you can personalize the piece if you want. And then I just want to point out what the instructions look like. So the instructions in this guidebook, and most of our guidebooks, we have the words, we have a photograph, and we have a diagram. A lot of times when you're making something, what's in front of you doesn't look quite like the diagram. Sometimes it's easier to work from a picture, sometimes it's easier to work from a diagram, and here you have all three. And then I spend a lot of time on those transitions between each step. That's where a lot of instructions break down. They don't tell you how to get from step 1 to step 2. So you can do step 1, you can do step 2, but then you're sort of lost. So I try to break it up into a lot of those little pieces.
And I want to show you guys. Look, this is excerpts from the book, and it is called Streetscape-Barcelona. It is Warren's complete design. Look at this. And these are the instructions that you find in the book. It's so doable. It is so doable. It is an intermediate level. Love it. It's a breakout, if I can say that, Warren, of the Petersburg chain. Thank you very much. Barcelona and Petersburg. I was getting all over that. Tell them the inspiration for this, because that was so cool.
I spent a few weeks in Barcelona, Spain, and mostly to look at architecture. Barcelona is just this incredible city, vibrant, lively. One of the major architects is Antonio Gaudí, and for some reason he got a commission from the city to design some of the brick and tile work on the streets and the sidewalks, and I just took pictures, and then I tried to come up with the basic design. And basically I have I call a skeletal structure. It's sort of this yellow brick road that goes through the piece. And then off of here I have some wings. So we have sort of a skeletal structure. And then here I have the Petersburg chain. I wanted to use just snippets of Petersburg chain. So I've gone from something that looks like this.
Oh, wow. That's
to
beautiful.
just using little parts, and it gets sort of like a sense of wings, like butterfly wings.
Now, let me add something here. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Susan is on Facebook Live, okay? So if you want to ask any questions of Warren, feel free. Susan's going through them. She can answer some of them herself. Some of them she'll throw over here to us. But we just wanted to let you know we had added that in there so you guys can ask questions. That is gorgeous. It has dimension, though.
It has dimension, it has movement, it has color. It's a really innovative use of technique. So in this piece, on the main skeletal structure, we have two techniques. We have circular peyote, and we have right angle weave. Architecturally, when you're designing a piece, part of the piece has to move, drape, and flow. It has to be very soft and supple. And part of the piece has to maintain the shape, the structure of the piece. And so here I've used, in peyote stitch, if you do it linearly, it's like a hinge, and one part bends real easily in one direction, but it won't bend at all in another. But when you do this as a circle, all parts bend. So when I put this on, it just naturally takes the shape of my body. It's always going to move with my body. It's always going to feel comfortable. It's always going to look good. But then I don't want it to fall apart and lose its shape. And so I have this right angle weave bars here in the center. So sort of those crystal beads in the center.
I mean,
spacing
honestly, we are learning from a master. And let me show you this, because this is what Warren pointed out to us before the show. Watch this. Now, if I turn it this way, look at the dimension on this. That is so gorgeous, isn't it? That is so gorgeous. So, Warren, give us some hints about the stitch.
So the stitch is really very simple in and of itself. It's really how it's positioned on the piece that requires a little extra skill. But here I'm just going to pick up 4 beads.
I can do that so far.
And so far you can do that. And I'm going to bring them down. I'm going to flip 2 of them underneath, 2 above it. And I'm going to come back in the opposite direction. I'm basically making a 2 by 2 box. So if you can see where I'm coming out of down here, I'll pull that through. I'll make that box. In this box, this is a joint. This connects the row we're working on to the row below it. This has to be really tight in order to maintain the shape. And then I'm going to add some extra beads. And here I'm going to be a little looser. This is supposed to be a very loose stitch. And this part doesn't have to be tight at all. And so I'm bringing down another bead here, like a stop bead.
Isn't this inspirational?
Pick up another bead to drop down to the next row. And I'm ready to add 4 more beads.
Wow, wow, wow.
And so just that, the stitch itself is very easy, but it has a great impact when you're using little segments of it.
Look at this. Look at this. Does that blow your mind? Was he a find or what? So listen, stay on the line for this. I just want to remind you, there are 2 other kits. One is Mother's Celebration, which is the one I have on my wrist, and the other is the original Petersburg chain. The other 2 kits are beginner level.
Right.
The other 2 kits are beginner level. Don't you listen? Susan's so funny because Susan's saying, Sherry, they're not asking any questions of what he's doing. They're asking questions about him. So
A lot of questions about him. Yes, yes. But they're all saying gorgeous, love this, think it's so beautiful.
It's
I mean, they
amazing.
are
Thank you.
real. Oh, there we go. Who am I looking at? You.
Yeah.
Yes. Fantastic, beautiful designs. Everybody loves everything you're doing. They think that almost looks like a poinsettia. So you can do it in
Yes.
so you could do it once you learn in different colors.
That's right.
Right?
Mhm.
Susan,
Yes.
imagine doing that in Christmas colors, and that's all you sell. You start a booth selling those in Christmas colors. Oh my gosh. Or, blues and silvers. So, oh my gosh. Listen, on behalf of everybody, thank you so much. You are
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank you for
We would
inviting
love
me.
to keep him, but Nashville's kind of a hot town, so he wants to go back. So this is Warren Feld. We really appreciate you. We've been working a year to get him here, so we knew you guys would
Thank
love
you. I
him.
enjoyed this. Thank you.
You were great.